So I'm here with John Adams, and for those of you who are tuning in, and if you attend the International Film Series, John is the graphic artist who helps us with the designs of the printed calendar. Here's the one from last spring. Usually, John and I are always working tightly together to on layout for each calendar, and John, we've been working together for a long time now. I mean, decades, literally.
Well, coming up on 20 years, man.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to do a calendar sometime in the future.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
right now, what we're plugging the virtual titles that are available to screen from internationalfilmseries.com. Now, we had one that just popped up. I think it was last Friday, and it'll be up for a few weeks. I don't know how long, but it's a documentary about MC ESCHER, titled MC ESCHER: Journey to Infinity. Now, when I was growing up in college, of course, ESCHER, lots of ESCHER posters throughout my house. I still have one on my fridge, which happens to be the one of these two humans kind of being intertwined. And that one's got a little bit of history for me, because when I was in high school, there was actually a sheet of acid that had that drawing. And I actually saw the whole sheet of acid and, was given one small tab from that piece, and I didn't sleep for 2 days. But anyway, that's probably too much information for people listening. Let's get to MC ESCHER. I didn't see the doc, but you did. What did you think, John?
Well, I don't know whether you knew this or not, but I am a fine arts major. Thank you. University of Colorado, go Buffs. Yeah, and I actually have an MFA. But when I started in fine arts, I was a printmaker. And that's what I got my bachelor's, BFA in, was printmaking and painting. And printmaking involves a lot of drawing, so you can call drawing too.
Yeah.
Kind of away from that in my graduate stuff. But I still consider myself a printmaker because I do multiple images, multiple copies. I got into doing graphic art, computer-wise, fanzine kind of things.
I have some of your work up here on my shelf somewhere.
The zine scene.
Yeah. Well, pure art. I have some of your pure art hardcover stuff.
Under the imprint of pure art. Yeah, for sure. So, but I know I'm coming from printing and printmaking, and certainly knew the Escher stuff from back in the day when I was in doing printmaking kinds of things. So my perception of this movie is biased a little bit, coming from that place. If I was to pitch this movie to you as someone who was aware of Escher, but probably didn't know where he was coming from or how he worked, this is a really great film. Quite apart from that, it's really pretty. It is a really pretty film. And there's one point where the narrative is from Escher's own words, and so that's good.
Yeah.
He's talking about color, which is weird because he is coming from the European graphic arts tradition of the turn of the last century, going into the modernist mode of high contrast, black and white, very stark imagery, which is a product of the way Escher's working, which is through woodblock cuts. The stuff that we really know him for is his woodblocks, and which is a kind of printmaking that results in ink or no ink, black or white. And so for him to talk about color is a little weird. But he does say, I love the color in Tuscany. I just can't do it because the way I'm working. So I appreciated that kind of stuff. You as an Escher fan, but perhaps unaware of the way he worked, you do get to see him do what's called pulling an impression from off of his wood blocks. And for me, it was interesting because he apparently doesn't use a press to make his wood blocks. He probably did. I don't know. But we see him doing a rubbing method for pulling his things off. So again, coming from a printmaker's point of view, you might miss that, but still pretty interesting.
Now he died in 1972. So does the documentary go into like, you know, what accounts for his sort of legacy and popularity after his death? Yes.
Yeah. I got to say, it does start with an OK Boomer moment.
Was it Crosby, Stills, or Graham?
Yes. Remembering back to when he was first introduced to Escher's work, and it opened my eyes. And you know, it kind of can, because Escher had an intriguing way of seeing things, and it's unique, and really that's, in my opinion, that's where his strength lies. And the doc starts with that, because this is the point at which Escher leaves a smaller circle of people who appreciate his work, mathematicians mostly, in my opinion, and then gets made into a superstar status. The way Warhol suddenly becomes something other than just another artist. They go into that other place where everybody's heard of him. Picasso, the same kind of deal.
Celebrityhood.
Yeah. It's the superstar. It's the star system. It just separates him out, and it's hooked together with the counterculture of the 60s. So all the stock footage is there. We see a little Woodstock action. Yeah, thank you. And Beans in San Francisco. Yeah, okay, good. Very good. Got to have that. And then you can make that connection. And for someone who that doesn't know that, that's a good hook. I really liked the way Nash, right? Yeah. He says, Eric Burton first introduced me to, Eric Burton was a musician with the Animals. Thank you. There are more people seeing this documentary who have no idea who Eric Burton is.
Well, yeah.
So that's cool. I like that. I like that, being reminded of that. Yeah. So,
hey, real quick, and before I forget, did you end up seeing The Mayor? Because that's another film that's available to watch through the IFS website. So given that you had a chance to see it, and in fact, you kind of were thanks to you reminded me that I had meant to put it on the calendar website.
Mayor thing I just picked up on because it was on Chapo, and so
and that's again something to screen through the website. So, but appreciate you jumping in here and giving us a little insight into the MC ESCHER doc. I'll see if I can fit that into my schedule as well. I'd like to thank anyone out there who are watching the Z briefs that we're putting up on our website. And please do keep in mind that we're always adding some new titles, and some of these titles, they're on for weeks or months. Other titles just a few days, but a lot of interesting stuff. Distributors are splitting the profits with us while we wait out this quarantine period, and we can't wait to get back into Munzinger, hopefully sooner rather than later. But stay safe until then. All right, thanks, John.
You bet.
All right, ciao.